Another week of the Premier League is here. This time around, we're looking over the Game Week 10 matches. We got some absolute bangers. Tottenham versus Chelsea first off, and then we have Liverpool versus Aston Villa. So if you do enjoy the video, please do drop a like if you do enjoy it. Now, let's get straight into the matches. We have Crystal Palace versus Brentford first off. Now, this game is going to be super good, in my opinion. So let's get started off with Palace. They've been one of the most underrated teams this season. After the recent game against Arsenal, they dropped to 10th place, but before the game they were around 5th place, which is quite crazy. But last game they did end up losing 1-0 to Arsenal. Now Mateta was kept fairly quiet by Saliba and also Gabriel, but Palace did play well overall. I think they played better than Arsenal, but Arsenal did get the win at the end of the day. On to Brentford. They're doing quite decent this season. I would say they picked up their form recently, especially after their last game beating Liverpool 3-2. I would say that's a very well deserved win for Brentford. Liverpool were not that good. Igor Thiago scored once. Again, he is up there with Haaland and Semenyo in the Golden Boot race. So overall, Brentford were doing very well in that game to keep Liverpool quiet despite conceding 2 goals. But my prediction is going to be a 1-1 draw between the two. Moving on to Nottingham Forest versus Manchester United. Now this is going to be a banger match for sure. So let's get started with Nottingham Forest. They're still not looking too good this season, sitting in 18th place. I mean, it's very tough if we're being honest, especially with a manager like Sean Dyche coming in. His teams are usually very well drilled and solid defensively, so we need to give him a little bit more time to kind of drill his team. And last game they played Bournemouth and they actually lost 2-0. Even with their quality attacking wise, they seemed to struggle offensively to get the goals as well. But onto Manchester United, let's just say things have completely turned around on their head for them. They are now sitting in 6th place, which is quite crazy, and that is a pretty solid start for them so far considering where they were at last season. Fair play to Manchester United. They actually won their past 3 games. All 3 in a row they won against Sunderland, Liverpool and Brighton. All of those teams have been fairly decent so far this season. And Mbeumo has been scoring. Cunha scored in the 4-2 win against Brighton as well. United stand might be getting his haircut if Manchester United win 2 more matches. But my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Manchester United. Moving on to Burnley versus Arsenal. Surely this only goes one way unless it doesn't. So let's get started with Burnley. They have not been the best so far this season, although their form has turned around recently, coming from a win against Burnley, 3-2 win, which is huge from them. Very late winner coming from Lyle Foster to win that match, but they have seemed to find their scoring boots recently, because I said, I believe in a previous video, that they do need to score more goals, and who knows, maybe they watched that video. But Zian Fleming, what a player. He bagged the brace for Burnley and basically got them the win. On to Arsenal. I would say at the moment they're the best team in the league with the best defensive record probably in Europe, if we're being honest, conceding 3 goals in 9 matches. A crazy stat is we have conceded only 1 shot in the entirety of October. Like, that's just mind-boggling right there. Last game we did play Crystal Palace, which was a tough game. We won 1-0 off a beautiful as a scissor kick. He just came in clutch for us. And I gotta say, Crystal Palace, as I said before, they played some quite solid football, just could not get the ball in the back of the net, and our defense kind of held them off as well. Gyökeres is getting in better positions every single game. He's getting better with the link-up play and everything. He had a few chances to get in behind, but there was a defender on him. So eventually, I'm sure you guys will see him score goals consistently. I just have a feeling. But my prediction is going to be a 3-0 win for Arsenal. Moving on to Brighton versus Leeds United. This can end up being a very tight game, so let's get started with Brighton. This team is always always around the mid-table area. I mean, their form as of recent has actually been pretty good apart from their recent loss to Manchester United. They ended up losing 4-2, which was a massive surprise. I thought it was going to be like a draw or something like that, but Welbeck scoring against his former club. Manchester United in that game were just a more clinical side at the end of the day. Now on to Leeds United. They have not been doing too bad form-wise. Let's just say it has been not too good recently, although they turned it around in their last match, winning 2-1 against West Ham. Brandon Aronson scoring. He is such an important player for them. He's been at the club for I don't even know how many years, but it's been quite a while. He's been there. I remember last time they were in the Premier League, he was with them as well, so like 2 or 3 years ago, and he's still at the club. Gotta respect the loyalty. Leeds are always known for playing some very clean football. I would say one of my most favorite sides to watch from newly promoted teams. And my prediction is gonna be a 2-1 win for Brighton. Moving on to Fulham versus Wolves, this game could end up being actually quite close. So let's get started with Fulham. They have really surprised me this season with them sitting in 17th place, right above the relegation zone. I've not seen them in this position for a very long time. Now form-wise, it has been horrible, losing the last 4 games in the league from them. Last game they played Newcastle and they lost 2-1. All thanks to a Bruno Guimaraes late winner for Newcastle. So Fulham surely have to turn this around, and this is their chance right here. They're facing the worst team in the league in Wolves. Now Wolves are sitting all the way in 20th place, which is so disappointing. Vitor Pereira, the manager, was getting furious with the fans after the game because they were actually furious with him due to the results and where they are in the table. They have not got a single win yet this season. That's insanely tough, but it kind of feels like they're missing Cunha and Ait-Nouri, 2 players who were very key in the attacking side of things, but Ait-Nouri was also important defensively. Now hopefully they could turn it around because it's not looking too good at the moment. My prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Wolves. Moving on to Tottenham versus Chelsea. This game has to be one of the best games this week. So let's get started with Tottenham. They're actually doing quite well. I'm not going to lie about that. Despite their recent results, getting a little bit of draws, some wins here as well. They're sitting in 3rd place in the league, which is quite impressive, especially coming off a 3-0 win against Everton. Now Van de Ven, he got a brace in that match, both headers coming off a corner as well. Very good center back, very rapid center back. So there's no chance you're gonna beat him in behind. He's probably gonna catch up behind you. Now Xavi Simons, he does not seem to be getting involved actually too much in the matches, but still he's very young, so it kind of makes sense. Still adapting into a new league, and he's gonna get up to that level eventually. Just give them a little bit more time. Onto Chelsea, they're not doing the best at the moment, actually sitting in 9th place, which is not good at all. Their most recent result against Sunderland was not ideal at all. Ended up losing 2-1 to Sunderland. Garnacho did score his first Chelsea goal, but it did not help them win the match. But crazy, they have gone from top 4 last season to sitting in 9th place at the moment, and we're probably missing Palmer in terms of his creativity with his goals. Just in the middle, Palmer is a very important player for Chelsea, but my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Tottenham. Moving on to Liverpool versus Aston Villa. This has to be game of the week right here. So let's get started with Liverpool. They have not been doing good this season. They seem to be really struggling defensively, conceding 14 goals in 9 matches. They're literally leaking goals left and right. Having no Alisson does not help. Frimpong is out again. Konate and Van Dijk just seem completely off it as well. Attacking wise, points. They're up there with the highest scoring teams. I believe they have 16 goals overall in all of their matches, but still, you have Salah, who's kind of been ghosting despite him scoring a goal in the last match. Absolute banger. But last game, they did lose 3-2 to Brentford. That was a huge surprise. I actually thought Liverpool would win that match, but Wirtz, what can I say about this guy? He just can't seem to get a goal or assist in the Premier League just yet. But on to Aston Villa, they've been doing very well. Crazy, it's actually crazy considering how they started off awfully. I believe they were in the 18th place probably a month ago or so, and they went from that all the way up to 8th place is where they are right now. And they have just come off a huge win, 1-0 win against Man City. Matty Cash came to the rescue once again for Aston Villa with a goal outside the box, and they did manage to end Haaland's scoring run as well. So my prediction for this game is going to be a high scoring 3-2 win for Aston Villa. Moving on to West Ham versus Newcastle. This game could end up being tight, so let's start off with West Ham. It's been a rough season for them so far, sitting all the way in 19th place in the relegation zone. There is a possibility if they do continue this kind of form, they could be relegated. In my time watching football, I've not seen West Ham get relegated into the championship. They completely binned off Graham Potter and they brought in Nuno Espirito Santo, and I do believe he can turn things around. I think it will just take a bit of time. But last game they played Leeds and they lost 2-1. They seem to be struggling defensively, like despite getting one goal as well. Offensively struggling as well. I mean, they've always been a team to struggle offensively. Maybe they could turn it around in this match, but it's going to be hard against Newcastle. But I would say Newcastle are doing quite alright this season. They've been in some pretty solid form as well, coming off a 2-1 win against Fulham, winning in the 90th minute. Bruno Guimaraes scoring that as well. Woltmead, what a great signing has been in place of Alexander Isak. He just has so much technical ability, he has so much in his locker. He's great at holding up, running in behind, he has it. Technically, for a 6'6" guy, I mean, he's fantastic technically. Also, credit to Murphy. He's actually been getting involved in a lot of the goals. He actually scored a goal in the last match. I believe against Fulham, he scored that first goal. And I mean, wow. Fair play. Whether it be assists, goals, or even starting attacks, he's been really stepping up recently. So my prediction is going to be a 2-0 win for Newcastle. Moving on to Man City versus Bournemouth. Now this game is going to be a super good one. So let's get started with Man City. They've been doing alright, I would say. City are currently in 5th place, which isn't too bad. But as I say almost every single prediction video, their standards are very high, so they're probably a little bit disappointed with them being in 5th place. But last game they lost 1-0 against Aston Villa. It was a little rough considering Aston Villa scored one of their 2 shots on target, coming off a corner, and Matty Cash just scored it on the edge of the box. Now Haaland ended his scoring streak in this game as well. I believe he scored in 10 to 12 games in a row, but I'm sure Man City will come back and be ready for this game. On to Bournemouth. They're really impressive this season. They're impressing me and also many other people as well. They are doing absolutely incredible this season, sitting in 2nd place in the Premier League. Imagine saying last year Bournemouth would be sitting in 2nd place in October. I don't think I would have believed you if you told me that. I've always considered them a very underrated team. Like Semenyo, we talk about this guy every single time. He has been absolutely balling this season overall. The main man has scored 6 goals and got 3 assists in 9 matches. That's unreal stuff. But last game they played Nottingham Forest and they won 2-0. Eli Junior Krupi, a 19-year-old, scored the 2nd goal to secure the win for Bournemouth. So we gotta keep an eye on that man, because I mean, Bournemouth, they just buy players and they really develop these players and sell them on. You see that with Kirkish, who got sold to Liverpool. You see that with Dean Huijsen. Solanke moved to Tottenham. I mean, they're doing very well in terms of developing players, but my prediction is going to be a huge upset in a 2-1 win for Bournemouth. Moving on to the last and final game, Sunderland versus Everton. Now this game has potential to be quite good, so let's get started with Sunderland. They have been very impressive this season, especially for a newly promoted side coming into the Premier League. I mean, it's very, very impressive. Last game was a huge test against Chelsea for them. Let's just say they passed the test, beating Chelsea 2-1 in that last match. Talby, a new signing coming in from Club Brugge, scoring the winner very late into the match. I believe it was the 93rd minute or so. Great signing, great signing, and fantastic win for them. And we have to give massive credit to Xhaka, the captain. This guy just dictates the play in the middle of the pitch. He did at Arsenal, Leverkusen, and now at Sunderland. And Sunderland are now into the top 4. I believe they're 3rd or 4th place. Imagine saying a newly promoted side would be top 4, like right now. Unbelievable. On to Everton. They've been doing alright this season. Form-wise, let's just say it's gone not too well. I would say losing their last game 3-0 against Tottenham. I mean, Tottenham's obviously a very good team in some very solid form. All the goals came from headers and like aerial threats. So we had 2 goals from Van de Ven, as I said before, and another header coming from Papasar, I believe. Ndaya stands out so much for me. He's a very underrated player, especially in terms of his dribbling ability. I'm surprised a team has not picked him up yet. Now Grealish was creating chances, just the team could not take them and could not really get the shots off. But my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Sunderland. So hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below your predictions for these matches and which game are you looking forward to in this game week 10. And don't forget to subscribe as well, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.